They are preparing what is colloquially known as a pepper memorandum, and that is kind of a description of any inmates. Mine in this case is post-conviction behavior and how it would affect decisions to reduce sentences or for resentencing if a new sentencing were to occur. So I'm going to just recount some of those events. I was in prison from July of 2009 till June of 2020. During that entire time, I served as the law clerk for the prison, the longest running law clerk. I would maintain and certify the law libraries, compliance with the Bureau of Prisons policy statements and their accreditation facilities, and then I assisted inmates in searching for cases, finding materials, that kind of stuff. And so that was my job for the length of time I was there. A great part of that was me just training people to be the law clerks, and I kind of oversaw and supervised it.
Now I was in prison with him from, I got out in 18. So I was in prison with him, 9 years? When you're incarcerated and somebody like Frank comes along that gives you hope, gives you reason to believe certain things are gonna happen.
Even though I had a team of attorneys on the outside, when you have someone there with you, understanding your case, it's a way to cope. Really. Listen, I'll never forget all the time we spent together, and much of it was him helping me understand the system and giving me the confidence to keep pushing forward.
And so I performed this service for the psychology department for a good 5 years of being some kind of outsourced therapist that people could come and talk to. And many of the staff members in the units would often send their people out to talk to me, not putatively about legal issues, but really because they know I'd sit down and I'd spend 20, 30, 40 minutes with somebody and make them feel like they're human again.
It didn't make any difference what you were, how much money he had, and how Frank listened to you. Now, what Frank did while he was in prison, he taught a lot of people. He taught classes sometimes twice a week.
I was engaged by Counselor Bruce Chambers to develop a series of unit-based classes. Apparently some directive had come down and they wanted to make better use of some activity rooms that are in the housing units. And so he'd asked if I would help develop classes, which I did. Originally a business practices class and a legal research class. And I also encouraged other people to develop further classes. And by the end of 2 years, we had 12 or 15 different classes going, teaching people how to be CDL drivers and how to be janitors, and it was really a pretty productive event.
People attended Frank's class more than any other class I know of was there. And then, and after he got through class, he had people lined up, to talk to them. And of course, we had to be back in the barracks at a certain time. Mm-hmm. But he had people he was like the Pied Piper. I mean, it was, you could just about tell where Frank was at, by the number of people around him.
And I taught the business class whenever, every couple of quarters they would have me teach the 2 classes, 1 law, 1 business. And those were full, 40 people, all the time in the big classroom. These people, for many inmates, having the chance of being able to be on your own business makes a big difference for them.
One of the classes that I went to, that he wanted me to be there because he was going to talk about my case, and he showed points on my case, and there were probably 30, 40 people in there.
How many people usually attended a class at a time? Not necessarily Frank's, but any of the classes.
Or if you wasn't if you wasn't demanded to be there, or if it wasn't in your better have to be there, 5, maybe 10.
Frank motivated me to actually read a little more and understand things a little better. And I would do it in helping him with other cases, in doing research for him, and assembling people that would do the typing and finding good cases for him to work on. He's got a real brilliance about him when it comes to it.
You meet all kind of people in prison. I mean, all kind. And Frank didn't call anybody. If they had an issue, they went to Frank.
They said, Mr. Frank, we know that the staff listens to you when you talk to them, and there's a problem. Last night, these 2 guys got beat up, and now there's going to be reprisals, and then there's going to be orders for more reprisals, and this might even bleed over into our families on the outside. And we can't be seen talking to a staff member, and we can't. So let us tell you about it, and you do what the right thing is. Essentially, they gave me the information to stop a blood crip war, which I did that morning, and including the fact that one of the culprits is one of my clients. Notably, I continued to work with him and got the 11th Circuit to reverse the district court decision in his case a year later, so that he had a chance to go back to court and knock off 5 years of his sentence.
What was Frank's kind of overall reputation in prison?
Well, he was liked and respected by both inmates and staff. Frank never had a problem with anybody. No one.
I can imagine what it might have been when Frank left there. Because it was almost like you took the wind out of a lot of people's sails, probably when Frank left. But a lot of people, I think, would be almost insane if it wasn't for Frank, with his positive attitude he's got,